German trade union IG Metall labeled IF Metall strike against Tesla Sweden illegal. IG Metall shared its perspective on the Tesla Sweden versus IF Metall issue. That would be illegal. You strike for your own business, for your own wages. A political strike would mean violating the duty to work, and then the employer could take action against the employee, said IG Metall spokesman Marcus. If IG Metall got to decide, Tesla's employees would have a collective agreement, but the initiative must come from the employees. Most Tesla employees are not striking. Very few are actually on strike, despite being paid 130% of their salary. And still, people are not striking. People are actually making less money because they are not striking. It's crazy. So, I respect the German union here. The world is getting crazier every day, but there's still some common sense left. It's funny how the Swedish union asked the German union to help, and then they actually got the opposite, which is exactly what they deserve. James says there's a potential big development here. After long 90 business days, the Mexican Ambient Agency has approved the change of land use for Tesla Giga Mexico. This clears the path to finally start work on the site. Interestingly, this quarter, Tesla sales in China are expected to clearly exceed US sales for the first time. This happened once before, but the difference was not that big really. This time the difference is going to be about 5,000 to 10,000 units, Troy anticipates. Ray says those who are sensationalizing Cybertruck's edges cutting into the flesh of pedestrians are the same people who claimed in 2011 the MacBook Air was as sharp as a knife and a really bad design back then. Who still cares about it? Today, nobody. Troy in particular is concerned, but Sawyer calls him out. Troy, my dude. The world is filled with sharp and pointy objects. The Cybertruck is much less sharp in person than it appears in these photos. Over 1,000 people got up close and touched the Cybertruck on delivery day. No one got hurt. Now that is a very good point. But Troy says that his concern is more about negative media coverage and brand damage in the US. If we see a few incidents, the percentage of people who don't like Tesla increased from 15% to 25% over time. This issue has the potential to push that percentage higher. Also, it doesn't help Troy that he posted this picture where two guys are literally touching the Cybertruck. No one got hurt. We are now seeing people that said they got emails from Tesla telling them to prepare for delivery. And together with that email, you are likely to get this text message saying that if you buy any other Tesla vehicle, you will be able to get $1,000 off. This points to higher inventory than normally because Tesla has not done this before. If you go to Tesla's webpage, it now only offers the Explore inventory page plus a test drive option. You are not offered an option to configure the vehicle if you just go to the website. So they are making it much easier for people to find those inventory vehicles. Yeah, if you want to build a vehicle from scratch, you actually have to go through the menus. You can't just go to Tesla's homepage and just configure a vehicle, except for the Cybertruck. You can obviously try to order. This is good news, but also slightly bad news. But I say, it's basically just good news. Tesla in Texas purchased land for almost $350 million. Now that same land is valued at $2.3 billion. The land went up a lot more than the stock market. That's crazy. But the part that is not good about this is Tesla is not planning to sell that land pretty much ever. So we are not really benefiting from that. We are benefiting from it in theory. But the bad news here is Tesla has to pay a lot more property taxes because the land value is much more. But I say it's still good news because Tesla's balance sheet looks stronger. There's a bit more good news for Tesla from Sweden. There's a news website in Sweden. I translated this using Google Translate. And it says, it should be clear that collective agreements are voluntary, but right now, based on how the Swedish union is acting, it's not voluntary. They're basically saying that a no is a no, even when it comes to collective agreements. So maybe the public sentiment could start turning around and maybe more people will start supporting Tesla in Sweden. Tesla executive Andrew Baglino says that Tesla's long-term range target for the Cybertruck's extended range battery pack is over 500 miles instead of just 470 plus that is currently listed on Tesla's website. They decided to make it an optional add-on because the average person drives less than 40 miles per day. And Lars, the guy that's currently speaking here on camera, he's also a Tesla executive, said the 340 miles that the all-wheel drive version gets is totally fine for anybody. He added that they want to make more EVs. So instead of just putting more cells in the Cybertruck and no one using these battery cells basically, they instead can just make more EVs. But if you really want that extra range, you can still get it. I think it does make sense what Tesla is doing. Also, at the same time, if Tesla had unlimited 4680 production right now, would Tesla still do it the way it is doing it? I'm not so sure. But either way, I think it is the right decision for Tesla because you can add that extender and you will be just fine. So I don't really see a problem. The first electric vehicle charging station funded by a $7.5 billion US government program has begun operating in Ohio, the White House just said. They should just really give that money to Tesla because all of these other chargers, the uptime sucks. It's really bad. Some Tesla stock investors think that the reason why Tesla stock dropped earlier today was because of Alex Jones being reinstated on X. However, Gary Black points out that every Magnificent Seven, such a stupid name, Magnificent Seven. What is there magnificent about Meta? I don't see anything magnificent about Microsoft. But all of these stocks are down 2 to 3%, Gary says. And these stocks are down, says Gary, because the Fed is hawkish, meaning they are not thinking about cutting interest rates. Hawkish means to increase interest rates. Some will be somewhat disappointed perhaps, but this is actually good news. Story says, I was expecting the Cybertruck all-wheel drive to see a 30 to 35 mile range loss going to the 35-inch all-terrain tires from the all seasons, but it only loses 22 miles of range. The Cyber Beast only loses 19 miles of range going to the 35-inch all-terrains. Not bad. And for reference, which is the important part, the Model X loses 18 miles of range going from the standard 20-inch wheels to the 22-inch performance wheels. So I say, yeah, this is actually good. The Model X, 18 miles. The Cybertruck, 22 miles. And the good news is these tires are also good for snow, sand, and mud. There's a story from Drive Tesla Canada. Tesla challenges fines following Fremont workers' injury. These are relatively tiny fines, an $18,000 fine, and I think 2 fines of $1,000 each. I think the reason why Tesla wants to dispute these is because if you give in, then they can make a big deal out of this, even though we know that Tesla's safety record is quite a bit better when compared to anyone else's average incident rate. But as we all know, the media does not care about averages. They just care about, oh, what happened here? Oh, it sounds like really bad. It doesn't matter that any other place is a lot worse. We care about Tesla not doing well, so we're going to attack Tesla because that also gets the views and the clicks. I actually worked in manufacturing before, and it's really sad to say this, but incidents is just part of manufacturing. You can reduce the incidents, and you must do that. That's very, very important. You have to constantly work on improving safety, but eventually you will still have some incidents. What is important is that the average is better of the industry average, and that you are not doing anything on purpose. That is very important. I don't think Tesla is doing anything wrong. Tesla is strongly committed to safety, and it's important to keep doing that because the unions in the US, they will use anything they possibly can against Tesla in the US. Tonight, we will get the numbers from China, the delivery numbers, and Gary's expecting another 17,000, and it will be really interesting to see if the Model 3 deliveries are higher. I don't think it matters all that much if they are not higher, because if all of the other vehicles are selling fine, I mean the Model Y mostly really, then I don't see a problem. And we know that the Model 3 beats the Seal, but actually right now the Seal is doing fairly well. Perhaps because Tesla increased the price of the refresh Model 3. So if the prices decrease again, I think there will be an insane amount of sales. Elon Musk says SpaceX and Tesla have noticed a meaningful degradation in the capability of US college graduates over the past several years. Yeah, Farzad says, I noticed this. Folks that didn't have college degrees would routinely outperform in the workplace. Way more hustle, ingenuity, willingness to break stupid rules, not entitled, etc. And Farzad, though, he says he is a college graduate. I seriously will not be surprised if Elon launches a new university, which before he said he might do. And to the question, is funding secured? Elon even answered before, obviously. I like this. Elon Musk confirmed that by early next year, X Spaces will enable a video feature where video will automatically switch to the person in the space who is speaking if a user has that enabled. So instead of just hearing yesterday Vivek Ramaswamy peeing in the bathroom, I'm Canadian, we might actually be able to see it next time. And yes, it actually happened. It was so hilarious. I don't really blame him for that. It was a long space, and I guess technology just went wrong. Elon Musk, during the whole situation, he said, I hope you feel better. And Vivek said, yes, I do. For this reason, if I am ever on a Zoom call, and if I need to go to a washroom, and it's a long Zoom call, and I've been on those, where people just talk, and I need to be there, I need to hear what's going on, and I might need to say something during the meeting. But if I really have to go, what I do is I just leave my phone in a different room, and then I go. And I just text everyone that I'm going to be back in a few minutes. But yeah, that's what I do, because you just never know. You're going to click something by accident, and if it does happen, it's pretty embarrassing. But I thought this whole situation was just funny. If you actually saw or heard what happened, it didn't seem terrible, really. If you want to listen to it for yourself, watch the previous video before this one, where Andrew Tate talks to Elon Musk. Somewhere at the end in that video, it's an 18-minute long video, this whole episode happens. What in the world is going on here? Mercedes-Benz is entering the real estate sector together with the construction company Bengati Properties. Mercedes-Benz is building a 341-meter residential tower with 65 floors and a view of the famous Burj Khalifa near the Dubai Mall by the end of 2026. Okay, instead of investing in EVs, they are investing in pointless, tall buildings, vanity projects. On the other hand, maybe this could turn out to be fairly smart. I mean, if you are admitting that, yeah, look, EVs is not our thing, we'll try property. So it's basically them pretty much admitting defeat. And make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.